Maharaja.
Dhanyavad. Pranashtami part 2.
Yes. Today is very nice. 2 parts.
So you first said Vandana.
Yes, Maharaj.
Vandana. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Guru Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam Sadhu-Sanga Tam Sadhu
Krishna Chaitanya Deva Onam Janati Vidasya Guru Vidanjana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Punya Sri Guru Varga Vandita Mahavambitaya Shadasuka Paurvaparya Parampara Prashalita Prayaharamurtate Bhakti Nirmala Niraja Nirta Saksakam Shalaram Vande Sri Gurudeva Manata Sri-Acharya Varjaniyam Purva Vishta Shukurakam Guru Ganera Shisha Shambhushita Sindhya Sindhya Shamasta Vedam Sirupa Partanugam Govinda Vidam Gurvalam Bharatanupatyam Vitam Shudaram Vande Vishwa Guru Shadiyam Bhagavat Premo Hridiya Pradam
Devam
Diyatanum Sushanda Vadanam Bhalarkasela Sritam Sanananda Puram Sarika Paranam Vairagya Vidya Buddhim Siddhanta Nidhim Suvartila Sikam Saraswatanam Varam Pantetam Shuvaram Malika Saranam Yashivaram Sigaram Sridhanta Saraswati Virito Gaudiya Gulam Vaje Mato Niravata Gane Yoga Sankirtani Maya Vadati Mingilvara Gatalu Girjaniman Krishna Prema Shubhavigaman Shukam Pralabhrakam Vaje Namo Namrati Saraya Bhakta Vatavudaye Gri Parmavingaya Radhavavani Sevine
Vande Bhakti Vinodam Vande Bhakti Vinodam
Sri Gaura Santi Swarupakam Bhakti Sastranya Sandrayam Radhamasa Shuddhanidhim Gaura Vrajatita Sheshai Vainavi Vandhyabhigam Jagana Prabhu Vande Premadi Bidavasnam Vanchakalkalpaturyacha Kripa Sindhuyarevacha Patitanam Pavaniryo Vagnarevyo Namo Namaha Panchatatmakam Krishna Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhakta Satanam Bhaktakanyam Namami Bhakta Sattikam Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premanayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Name Gaura Krishna Namaha Jayantam Sritaupangod, Mamamanda Mahergati, Mansarvatma Palambojao, Radhamadana Mohanao, Divya Vrindaraya Kalpadumata, Srimad Rangarasi Bhasnastau, Siddhantabhas Lagovinda Devau, Prestalivi Semanamis Manami, Vimantrasara Sambi, Vasivadada Stita, Kasambenu Vale Gopi, Gopinata Sriyestuna, Vrindayai Tulasi Deviyai, Priyayai Kesavasya Cha, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi, Satyavajai Namo Namaha, Artanatva Mantra Guru, Gurum Bhagavata Talam, Vyasanjaga Gurum Dadva, Tatoyayo Mudiraye, Jaya Parikara Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Parampanya Jastu Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Charidev, Srila Santa Maharaj, Ki Jai.
Jai.
Govardhan Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Samaveda Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai.
Jai.
Glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the worldwide devotees. Jai Sri Sri Radhastami Mahotsava Ki Jai.
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 I go Premanandi Hari Hari.
Hari Bo.
Sripad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Sri Bhakti Rakshak Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srimati Radhastami Ki Jai. So we're on chapter 3, text 17, in the Prapanna-jivanamrtam. Okay. Do you have a copy of this book, Ras Prabhu? Bhakti Ras? Do you have a copy of Prapanna-jivanamrtam?
He disappeared.
Oh,
He's coming back as Uma Devi.
Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Ras, I was asking, do you have a copy of Srila Sridhara Prapanna-jivanamrtam? No?
Oh, sorry, Maharaj. I had an issue with my audio. I don't have a physical copy, but I can follow along
Okay.
computer or on the screen shared.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
This book, when it first came out, it was in Bengali, and it was published by Srila Prabhupada's sister. All right. What's her name? Remember? Bhavana? You remember her name? Yes, Srila Prabhupada's sister was the first to publish this book in Bengali when it came out. Both Prabhupada and his sister were very devout followers of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, very dear friends, like family members.
Baba Tarini.
Baba Tarini, yes. And when Sridhar Maharaj wanted to publish this book, then Baba Tarini, she gave the funds. She gave the funds for publishing it. So it's a very nice book. It has a very close connection to Srila Prabhupada and his sister, Baba Tarini. I remember in 1973 or so, when Prabhupada opened the Chandrodaya Mandir, he invited Sridhar Maharaj to come. And you may see the picture where Sridhar Maharaj and Prabhupada are both seated on the Vyasasana. At that meeting, Baba Tarini was there, and I remember her. I was also there by the good fortune of Lord Nityananda and the devotees. I was also there, and I remember seeing Baba Tarini way in the back. Devotees, the men would line up on one side and sit down, and the women on the other side. And then way in the back on the woman's side, there was Baba Tarini. And I remember her looking over, she was bent over to where all the devotees, because she was way at the back, and she was looking down the aisle between the men and the women. She was looking down the aisle and looking at Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sripad sitting on the Vyasasana. She was very pleased to see that. Prabhupada was very dear to her, and Srila Sripad was very dear to her. Anyhow, by her sincere devotion, the Prapanna-jivanamrtam first became published in Bengali in India around that time.
Right. The book Prabhupada Lilamrita. They have that book Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. It's on Veda base, and they mention Prapanna-jivanamrtam being put together by all of them too.
So let's read Sadhya Seva Sankalpaha from Prapanna-jivanamrtam. Bhavantam evanucharam nirantaraha pasanta nishesha manoratanatara kalaham aikantika nitya kinkara praharshai shami sanatha jivatam by Immortality. An earnest aspiration to achieve perfection in devotional service. When will I bloom in a life of servitude as your eternal devotee? My heart pacified due to all other desires being consumed by engagement in your uninterrupted service. All other desires said that by serving the root of the tree, by giving water to the root of the tree, all the leaves and branches get watered automatically. If you try to water the tree by watering the leaves and branches, it'll die. The tree will die. But if you give water to the root, then all the trees, all the leaves and the branches and everything, they will all thrive very nicely. So in this way, we must understand that by serving Krishna, all other matters will be taken care of. We don't have to worry about each and everything. We think that by serving, putting all our attention Mam ekam sharanam, Krishna says. Ekam means only me. By focus on the only upon Krishna, we will be neglecting some other duties, other things that have to be taken care of. And Krishna says, no, that is not the way the world works. That's not how my system is set up. It is set up in such a way that by serving me, everything will be served. Just by feeding the stomach. Huh? And the body has so many parts. And by the hand, feeding the stomach, putting food in the mouth, then the whole body, the hand, the head, the legs, everything gets fed. Nandwat did he, Linda did he. So by serving Krishna, all other services are accomplished. One who has that faith, that is perfect. Huh? That is perfect life. That is a fulfilled, perfect perfection of life. Who can understand that? Krishna will reveal everything. Because there is proper understanding, there is proper knowledge. Everyone is searching for knowledge. What to do, what's this, what's that. Here's the proper knowledge. Huh? Krishna is giving. Manmana bhava madbhakta. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. So clearly he makes his point, his case in the Bhagavad Gita. Those who have good intelligence, they can understand easily what is Krishna saying and try to act in that way. Next verse. Parikara siddhir ahangsha. Sakrit tvad akara vilokanasaya. Sini kirtanutama bhukti muktibi. Mahatmabir mam avalokyatam naya shane pite yad viraho tidushaha. From a unitary, huh? The aspiration to attain to the perfection of becoming an associate servitor of the Lord. Oh my Lord, please lead me into the glance of those great devotees who, in their heart's aspiration to only once behold your divine form, consider sense enjoyment and liberation to be like straw, and whose separation is unbearable even for you. We were speaking before in a previous class with about Laoyam, the price. What is the price to pay? What price are you willing to pay to see Krishna? Huh? Get the darshan of the Lord. What price are you willing to pay? Huh? $1 million? $1 billion? How much will you give? No amount. No amount of money can produce that. No amount of preaching, no amount of learning the scriptures, no amount of learning in any other field. Only Laoyam is the price. Only price to pay is this longing, extreme longing. Extreme longing. Means that in spite of all difficulties, so many difficulties come in a devotee's life to try to become Krishna conscious. So many obstacles will come because are coming from material conditioning, materially conditioned life. And so we have absorbed so many things into our life, people and ideas and different situations. They are there. And for a devotee to get free from all of that, he has to want with a unshakable desire to come to Krishna and to remove all these things that are making him conscious of other things. Conscious, society consciousness, friend consciousness, family consciousness, work consciousness, career consciousness, livelihood consciousness, environmental consciousness, whatever kind of consciousness we have developed in this world. A devotee has to go penetrate all those layers to come to Krishna. So what type of intense desire must be there? Laser focused. And it is that desire which brings Krishna to focus for the devotee, which brings Krishna attention to his devotee. And he reveals himself. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Yenamam upayati te. Krishna explained very clearly. Tesham satata yuktanam. Always thinking of Krishna. Always engaging in some type of service. Tesham satata yuktanam. Always thinking of himself in connection with Krishna, in union with Krishna, knowing that Krishna is part of his life, part of our life. Tesham satata yuktanam. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Priti means that with some affection, with some love, some attachment, loyal. That loyal means affectionate love. Bhajatam means offering prayers, singing songs, bhajans, chanting the holy name. All these things are worship, doing service to the devotees and to the deities. And these are all forms of bhaja. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Doing these things with attachment, with a longing, with affection. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Then Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam. Then Krishna will give. Dadami buddhi means I will give intelligence that how you could come to me. Yenamam upayanti te. Then you can come with me. And Sridhara gave a very special meaning to that word upayanti, upapati. He said it means upapati. Upapati means parakiya ras. He will come to me not as an ordinary lover and his beloved, but as a parakiya, surpassing all principles, all rules and regulations, going outside all the ordinary situations that the world imposes on us, from its morality and religious principles, its social obligations, surpassing all of that, and going to Krishna recklessly, ignoring all those restrictions, and simply loving Krishna with all your heart, soul, body, mind, and soul. That's what Krishna wants from us, and that's the price. That's the price that devotee has to pay to get Krishna's attention. Of course, what greater thing can it be than to have connection with God? But that must be with a proper mood, not putting anything in comparison. He doesn't have to compete with anything else. Krishna alone, without competition from anyone or anything. That is Lauya. Nirupadika bhakti swarupo palabdi bhakti stvai tiratara bhagavad yadi yasya naivena Palati, Divya Kishora, Mortihi, Mukti Swayam, Mukuli Tanjali, Sevate Sman, Dharmartha, Kama, Gataya, Smaya, Patikshaha, from Bill Mangal, the realization of the nature of unconditional. O Supreme Lord, if our devotion for you were more steadfast, your adolescent form would naturally arise or appear within our hearts. Then there would not be the slightest necessity to pray for the triple pursuits of religiosity, gain, and sensual desire, dharma, artha, and kama, and their negation in the form of liberation, mukti. Because mukti will personally attend us as a concomitant subsidiary fruit of devotion, in the form of deliverance from ignorance, her hands cupped in prayer, like preordained maidservant, and the fruits of bhakti, transitory pleasure, culminating in the attainment of heaven, will eagerly await their orders from us, should any necessity arise for them in the service of your lotus. So, again, he's explaining that dharma, artha, kama. Dharma means religiosity. Why are people religious? Why do they follow religious principles? It makes them feel good. They feel pious. They feel some value about themselves. Dharma. Artha. Artha means economic development. Having money, having wealth, having enough to, having a good job, being able to have money to do what you want. Artha. Kama. Kama means having sensual pleasure. All types of sense pleasure people are looking for in this world. And then moksha. When you get finished with sucking the juice from this worldly place, from this worldly existence, and realize that it's not very tasteful after all, because you're always wanting more and more and more, then mukti, then we seek liberation from it. Peace of mind, peace of heart. There's certain joy in that, when we can detach from all of that. But these are all self-interested activities. And people are seeking that, these fruits of their self-interested activities, and not realizing that they will not ultimately satisfy us. Simply by surrendering to Krishna, which is the real function, the real purpose, the real constitutional necessity in our lives, only that will give us satisfaction. And these other things will come automatically. These other things will come automatically in a surrender to Krishna, because service of Krishna is not an obliteration of the senses, and not an obliteration of desires, but is the proper use of all these things. It's the proper life of harmony and peacefulness in that sense. So all the things we seek through artha, kama, and dharma, and moksha, that can be found in the higher plane, simply by submitting ourselves to the will of the Lord, and some complete subordination. And these things will come automatically, as is mentioned here, as maidservants. They will come to serve you in your service. These things will become not a means of distraction, but a means of encouragement, a means of facility for your service of the Supreme. Rajarasya Shresthatvam Shrutim Apari Smritim Tare Vartam Anye Bhajantu Bhava Bhuta Aham Iha Nandam Vande Yashalinte Param Brahma Sri Raghupati Upadaya. The super excellence of devotion and the mood of Vrindavan. A person afraid of material existence. Some worship the Shruti scriptures, Vedas. Some worship the Smriti scriptures, supplementary religious codes, and others worship the Mahabharata. But as far as I'm concerned, I worship Sri Nanda Maharaj, at whose courtyard the Supreme Absolute Truth is playing. Vedic literature, Shastra, consists of 4 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Arthur, and
Sama.
Huh?
Sama.
Samaveda, 4 Vedas. And then there's the commentaries on the Vedas, the Puranas, the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. All these literatures are part of Smriti and Shruti, and all the commentaries of the Acharyas and so forth and so on. And then there's what they call Itihasa. Itihasa means the histories, like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. These are all considered scriptural Shastra, revealed knowledge. So much knowledge is being given. So much knowledge is being revealed through Brahma and the great sages. And all the scriptures are revealing. Krishna says, Vedaista sarvam aham eva veda. I am Veda Krid Veda Veda
Vedanta Krid Veda Veda Eva Chaham.
Eva Chaham. That I am the writer. I am the knower of the Vedas. I know what they mean. I'm the one who gave them all. I'm giving all these directions to you. And they're all meant for knowing me. If you haven't caught that point, then all your study of the Vedic and all those other literatures, don't waste your time. Simply religiosity. But by those things you are to know me. And then once you come to know me, then you are having real knowledge. You have reached the truth. And there we can play. Then we can play. You can have your relationship with me. Loving relationship. So Raghupati Upadhyaya is praying here. I am worshiping Nanda Maharaj. In whose courtyard Krishna is playing. Sometimes Krishna likes to please his father by putting his shoes on his head and then walking with those shoes on his head. And this way, Madhava Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj are very happy. They like to see him playing in this way, giving so much honor to them. Although he is the Supreme Person himself, still he is giving so much honor and so much love to his parents. How much merit, how much good fortune, how much do Nanda Maharaj and the Sodamati know? How much do they have? in order to get the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to play as a child with them. What kind of merit do they have? These are the persons we should be praying to. We should be trying to get some benefit from, rather than all the books, all the scriptures, everything that is there. Studying all those things will not give us Krishna if we do not know that he is the goal, he is the purpose behind all of those things. We do not establish a relationship with him. All that study of all those scriptures means nothing. We have wasted our time. Therefore, as praying, let me worship Danda Maharaja, because they are the true yogis. They are the true sages. They have learned everything and understood everything properly, because they were able to get the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead as their child, playing in their art. The absolute truth playing in the courtyard of his mother and father. What do we need to do to get that? That is the proper object of our study, object of our interest, object of our endeavor. Tatra bhajana padati, tannama rupa charitadi sankirtanano anu smityo kamena rasana manasa niyoja tishtan raje tad anuragi jananakami kalam nayad akilam iti upadesha shara Sri Rupa Goswami. Here's a verse by Saraswati Thakur about the path to devotion in the Vrindavan conception. Krishna Nama Rupa Guna Lila Chastustaya Guru Mukhe Sunile Kirtana Udaya Ritya Iritita Aila Krame Smaranaya Paya Kirtitan Kiritana Smarano Bhale Karama Pattadaya Jataruchi Jana Jiva Manamilaya Krishna Anuraga Raja Jananusmariya Nirantara Rajavasa Manasa Vajada Eupadesara Araha Grahana. When Krishna's name, form, nature, and pastimes divine are heard from Sri Gurudev, one's heart awakes in song. As pure chanting ensues, remembrance is attained, thus chanting and remembering, step by step, ascent is gained. Those engaged in tongue and mind will begin to relish nectar, adore Sri Krishna, following the residence of Braja, reside always in Braja, within the heart's devotion. Surely you must accept this nectar of instruction. Very nice. Bhakti Siddhanta explaining the path. The path to Vrindavan. I think we're going to stop here. I'm a little tired of our morning session. We had a discussion early this morning at 10 o'clock. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say or any questions they'd like to ask? These are topics of the heart. Huh? Topics of the heart. A little difficult to put them into words. By the great mercy of our Acharyas, they've been able to write so many beautiful words about these things. But otherwise, it's very difficult to speak about these things from our own vocabulary and our own poor experiences and so forth. But anyhow, by their grace, we're able to read their words and talk about them and meditate on them. And in this way, try to inspire our own hearts to come to that platform, that sweet platform of Krishna consciousness, of always remembering Krishna, of always having some love for Krishna, cultivating our love for the Supreme Lord and the devotees to the best of our ability, surrendering our lives for his service and being detached from all the mundane events of all the mundane distractions that take us away from that pure spiritual insight, that pure spiritual life that is there. Although it's very difficult to give up all the material attachments by somehow hearing these things and somehow longing for them, longing to be with Krishna, to see Krishna, to be engaged in his pastimes with him, at least to serve him and Srimati Radharani and the devotees. These things encourage us to lessen our material life and improve our own spiritual life, increase our spiritual life. By the grace of Gurudev and the devotees, we offer our humble dandavats and prayers to them. My humble dandavats to you also for letting me talk about these things. My dandavats.
Maharaj. Thank you for class.
Thank you.
Maharaj.
Vrindavan.
Here to here, Maharaj. And devotee. Here to here. Always.